everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of the MaryGoRound Podcast. I'm Mary Brasha, and I'm your host. This podcast is powered by Selkirk Sport. We are Pickleball. Well, two pretty exciting things happened in my pickleball journey this past week. The first being that I actually got to go to Miami and practice with the Miami Pickleball Club team. So I'm super thankful to the owners who put this together for us to be able to get to practice with one another. I had played a lot of tournaments with Federico before this. I was actually his first mixed partner ever. And I had never played with Tyson or Tyra before, so it was really good to get the reps in with them, and I'm feeling really confident in our team for the upcoming events. So let's go Miami. Second, I came straight home from Miami and went all the way up to Santa Barbara to participate in Katy Perry's first annual Light Up the Court charity pickleball tournament for the Firework Foundation. This was such a cool experience because I've always been a fan of Katy Perry, and so to get to meet her and play pickleball with her was just a dream come true. She was so genuine and down to earth, and even when the tournament was over, she and Orlando Bloom were still playing pickleball and wanting to get the reps in. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of both of them in the pickleball world. So very thankful for both of these opportunities. Now I'm going to introduce you guys to today's guest. He has a big sports marketing background. He even worked for Major League Soccer. Now he works for the Evolve Talent Agency and is adding GM of the Miami Pickleball Club to his resume. Please welcome to the podcast, Jamie Duguid.
What's up, Mary?
Hello, Jamie.
How are you?
Welcome. I'm doing well. I love the Miami Pickleball sweatshirt. It looks great.
I didn't have anything on 5 minutes ago, so I was like, I better go pull something together and wrap the team. So
way to rep the team.
I'm drinking a puppy as well. So
oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is the perfect setup. I am still reflecting on the weekend and how fun it was. What did you think of our team bonding weekend in Miami?
It was awesome. It was, I think with you missing the first event, it was so crucial for us to get together as a 4 or as a 5 or 6, including Johnny and myself, and just spend some time together. I think that these teams get pulled together so quickly in MLP. And, people have existing relationships or sometimes they haven't played much with each other. And I think it's just super important in the short space of time to get everyone together and, on the court, but also just off the court and spend some time and meet people you don't know and bond a little bit and find common ground as well. So I thought it was awesome. Lots of, obviously we had practice, we did a little bit of an exhibition event, which was really cool stuff. But to me, the main thing was just the time spent together. And I think that'll stand us in good stead for Dallas and then for the last event in the year as well.
I totally agree. I've always told friends when they ask about MLP and what makes a good team, the team bonding, the team chemistry, it's super important, especially because like you said, these teams are thrown together and maybe you haven't played with someone before. I had not played with Tyra or Tyson until this weekend. So the fact that we got that extra practice in, I think got us feeling excited about the event.
Yeah, for sure. It was off the back, the team did pretty well first event, and credit to Allison for stepping in. But we feel I think just speaking with the rest of the team was we left something out there. And with you coming back, let's set ourselves up for success in Dallas, and getting together was all part of that. So yeah, exciting moving forward.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. I'm excited to make
Yeah.
Miami proud. I loved being in the city. I had only been once before. So the fact that I got to go back and kind of see what it's like there, it was so fun. And I also wanted to talk about at our team practice where the pickleball community got to come watch. I just thought the energy was great. It seems like you guys have a great community down in Miami. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it's just I mean, I'm sure you could go to other cities and have great engagement, but the way the city and the pickleball community in Miami has kind of picked up on this and got behind our team is really fun to see. And we didn't overly promote the open practice we did, but we had really good numbers and everyone's super excited to see you guys and share their support for the team. And yeah, it's really exciting. And I think it's just the start. I think like I hopefully we'll see this all continue to grow from a Miami standpoint. Also thinking about MLP teams in local markets, like it's really important. I actually say, we don't play home games in the city. So when people ask like why, I'm like, we exist in Miami in thin air. And like, so it just becomes really important that we're there and engaging and showing that we're representing the city and making sure people have a touch point with the team. Cause I think that's the best route to getting fans. So yeah.
For sure, for sure. So, what are some of the goals that Miami Pickleball Club has to get the community more involved in pickleball?
Yeah, I think there's a number. I think we want to, like I said, we want to be present in market. So that's through grassroots events and exhibition events. And I think you saw in this past weekend, like the importance of bringing players to meet with fans and to engage with fans in the market. We'll continue to do that, and hopefully that continues to kind of grow our name in the market, with pickleball fans and sports fans in general. We'll just keep going and keep growing the brand and keep growing the team, and hopefully we'll have some success as a team, and people will be proud of our players and proud of our organization and can get behind us.
Oh, for sure. I feel like being a part of the Miami Pickleball Club is just such an honor because the city is just vibrant. There's so much life, there's so much fun. And I just feel like we're
Yeah,
going to bring that on the court and it's going to be a great vibe. And I'm super excited about it. So,
for sure. We want to be as Miami as possible, and that comes through by being exciting and in the way we interact and the way the team plays and the way our merch shows up and
yeah.
all of the above. So yeah, it's just the start, and it's cool to have people like you who are not from there and be able to come and see it and see the city and meet the people there that are your fans, and like really really just engage and be part of the organization. I think it works both ways. As a player to spectator or fan, but also like that two-way conversation is really cool. So yeah, I was glad that you were able to come into town, and and the others as well. So
Yeah. Well, thank you again. That was a great experience. Hope to be back
yeah,
soon. I
yeah, sure.
I want to jump over to a different subject, which is more
Yeah.
about you and your sports marketing background. What sparked your interest in this field?
Yeah, good question. I'll have to go a little bit back, but I kind of had always, coming out of college, wanted to be or my initial thoughts were to be in the sports world. So I did a master's in sports marketing way back when at Georgetown in DC. And then my first job was at IMG Academy, actually down in Florida. So spent a couple of years down there. Worked across multiple sports, but mostly in the tennis world. So that was my start. I went over and worked in soccer for a number of years,
Nice.
for Major League Soccer. So I worked at the league office in New York for about 6 years, which was really fun. And, thinking about pickleball and Major League Pickleball, that league was in a growth period as well, a little different, but interesting sort of comparisons between, growing a league and adding teams and new owners and things like that. That was definitely something that I was part of in soccer. And then I actually worked for for Visa, the credit card company, for their agency for a number of years and their soccer partnerships. So around the World Cup in Qatar last year and things like that. And then at the end of that, I decided to take a position working with my older brother, who is Naomi Osaka's agent and has been for a long time. And he started a new company called Evolve, of which that's the tennis piece of it. And then obviously Naomi and Nick Kyrgios, who are their clients, invested in Miami Pickleball Club as owners, and asked me to come on board and kind of trying to get this thing off the ground and create something cool for Miami and within Major League Pickleball. So it's kind of been a weird and funny journey to get to this point, like having worked in a couple of different sports already, but it's so interesting being here now and being part of the growth of the sport. I'm not sure if you asked me 2 or 3 years ago if I'd be working in pickleball, like if I would have believed you, but from where even we were at the start of the year to now, and everything that's gone on in between, which is mostly good and some crazy moments as well, but it's just a very exciting time to be in the sport, at MLP level and just seeing across the different things going on. So yeah, kind of a roundabout way of getting here, but excited to be in pickleball now. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the sport is growing every single day. It is such an exciting time, and I'm so glad you got into pickleball. I kind of want to know, what was your first impression of the sport itself?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing, like, mostly tennis was my main sport growing up. So, I come from from participation standpoint, like a racket sports background. Pickleball was pretty, like, immediately like, this is very cool when I saw it. I think what really took I played it a few times and liked it, but what really made me kind of love it was really going and seeing pros play in person. I think was really interesting. It took, like, oh, this is how you, like, play it at a very high level. And seeing, I mean, my first pro event was MLP Mesa back in,
Okay.
that was January. So, I knew the sport and played the sport a little bit. But being involved in the pro side, I think, like, seeing how the sport is played at an elite level, is super cool. And it continues to, like, there's more players coming into the sport, and it'll probably be in a completely different place when we speak, if we speak in a year's time. And but the evolving nature of it and it from at the high level is super interesting. So
Well,
yeah.
clearly watching the pros paid off, because I heard that you were on the ML Palooza winning team from the last event. So you might be one of the most underrated members of our ownership groups out there. What was that like to win that event?
Yeah, it was fun. Underrated, maybe, I guess. I mean, I went from 0 to, like, slightly above 0 probably in most people's minds, but no, it was fun. It's, like, it's very fun part of MLP for a number of reasons. Like, you get to go out and play during MLP. It's great for meeting other owners, other GMs, other people involved in the sport that sometimes maybe you're just on the other side of the court from, and you don't speak to them during a match, or it can be kind of, your team's playing against them, so the engagement isn't huge. So it's really fun to, like, get out there and play and meet other people. Yeah, we had a solid team. So we were able to pull through. We actually we won the final in a dream breaker, which was fun.
Epic.
Yeah, so it was kind of epic. But yeah, it's cool. I think I was actually the last pick in the entire
Wow.
draft. It was a little bit of an unknown quantity, but shout out to Alex Strong, who was on Miami's team for the first part of the season in Challenger, for picking me up. So yeah, it was fun.
You must have been the steal of the draft. That is so fun. What are you working on in your pickleball game now?
Yeah, good Good question. I mean, I'm working on playing more with two little kids. It's that's the main thing really that I'm trying to work on right now, is just getting enough time on the court. But um, like coming from a racket sports background, you kind of like step in and you think that you can be pretty good to like, or you can be at a decent level when you first get in. But I think understanding the game and when to shot choice and shot selection is probably um, what I'm still learning and trying to figure out, and doing things for the right reason, and instead of just trying to sort of what you think you see, and like actually trying to plot out maybe two shots ahead of where you're going, which yeah, I'll get better eventually with some time on the court, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about at the moment.
We'll definitely have to get the practice in when the team's not playing. We'll have to all
Definitely. Yeah.
get
I
to
think some
reps
lessons,
in.
some lessons I think is probably what it should be. Yeah.
That would be awesome. Well, I have another question for you, kind of with your background, and pickleball is just growing, growing, growing constantly. So, what do you think is required for pro pickleball players or anyone trying to kind of like grow their brand, maybe, or something like that, and the sport
Yep.
itself? What do you think it's going to take to get pickleball to the next level?
Um, Gosh, that's a tough question. I think it's going to come down to a number of factors. Um, I think on the player side, and I think there's a number of players that are doing it great. I mean, first and foremost, players should be focused on performance on the court, but also off the court. You see a number of people growing their brand, um, and I think that's really important. I mean, when you look across other sports, people are fans of athletes for different reasons. So if you look in tennis, I mean, that's actually an individual sport, but kind of like pickleball, though we're playing in a team format and MLP. But the number of personalities and people with different brands that creates fandom, and more people wanting to follow individual players and doubles teams and things like that. That's only going to help elevate the kind of the profile of the sport. And then it's about getting more people to see. Like I said, like going to a professional event and seeing the product and like seeing pros play against each other live. I've yet to speak to someone who's been to an event and be like, that wasn't much better than I thought it was going to be. Like it's something I keep telling, like, you have MLP in particular, you have to see it to believe it, kind of thing. So the more people we can get to events and engaging with events and engaging with teams, like, that's only going to help. So lots and lots of factors probably would go into it. But I firmly believe that it's headed in a good direction. There'll be bumps in the road, as we've already seen recently, but I think, like, generally speaking, the sport is going to continue to grow. So
Yeah, that's great advice. I come from, I got a film degree in
yeah.
school, so we always were focused on building the character, building that emotional connection to
Yeah.
people. And I think that's important for athletes too. So that's cool to hear from you, because obviously you work with some of the best athletes in the world and with good personalities. So definitely cool to learn. Honestly, Jamie, that's about all I have for you today. Is there anything else exciting coming up for the Miami Pickleball Club through the remainder of the year?
Um, we are doing our first grassroots clinic with an awesome group called Elevate Pickleball, who I think you probably met this past weekend. So they are essentially our kind of grassroots partner. So we're doing our first MPC Elevate clinic this upcoming weekend, which is going to be awesome. And it's really just the first, and we'll continue to grow and do those throughout the year. So super excited about that. Hopefully in the future we can get some players or a player to go to one of these, which would be really cool. I think obviously we have our MLP events, which we're really excited for. I will obviously be in Dallas in a couple of weeks, and then hopefully later in the year in California. We're trying to convince one of our, I don't want to name names, but one of our ownership to be there, which is really exciting. So That's really exciting. And then there's a couple of other events in Miami later in December as well. So it's going to be a crazy end to the year. But we love having you guys on our team, and we're trying to make the most of that, and hopefully we can go challenge or win one of these MLPs. So
Yes, the Miami Pickleball Club is ready to take it all. I feel super confident in our team and super excited about the rest of the year. Well, Jamie, that's about it. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
no, thanks for having me. It's I'm so glad you're part of our team, and happy to share some thoughts. So
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who tuned in to this episode of the MaryGoRound Podcast. We will see you next time. Bye.